Alright, welcome in everyone. I hope you're having a good morning, good Saturday. Hold up. Okay. Sorry, I had to adjust my volume again. Okay. Today, I'm very excited for today. I think today's gonna be fun. We are doing an anime tier list of 42 anime that, some of which I picked out, some were suggestions from people in chat yesterday. And yeah, I'm gonna be ranking them. I have top 7 anime, which is literally my top 7 anime at the moment. Top 7 favorite anime of all time. And then the rest are more like normal rankings. So shows I love, shows I thought were good, shows I was just kind of neutral about, and then shows I never finished for one reason or another. And then shows I've never even watched. So yeah, so for each one, I'll show the show and we'll kind of talk about it for a bit. I'll explain why I rank it the way I do. And then we'll go through and rank them all. And I have no idea how long this is gonna take. So depending on how long it takes, I might play some Minecraft afterwards and just like hang out and chat. Or this might take longer than I expect and then we'll just do this. We'll see. It'll be a surprise. But yeah, I think it should be fun. I will put some music on in the background just because I like having background music. It should be really quiet. But if it's ever too loud or too quiet, just let me know and I'll adjust it. Let me go ahead and do that so we can, if we need to adjust the volume, we can do that before we get started. Okay. In theory, there's some background music now. Very quiet, but it's there. Okay. Trying to see if there's anything else we need to talk about before I get started. I'm also just slightly killing time at the moment. Let a few more people come in before I get too deep into the discussing all this anime. Oh, and I'm doing them in alphabetical order. Alphabetical order. I can talk. So they're all jumbled together. So that should be a fun way to go through it. Yeah. Oh, and don't mind the coffee goal. You're welcome to donate to the funds to play Cult of the Lamb on stream. But I'm probably gonna play it either way because that game looks really fun. But if you would like to get a head start on supporting the cult, any donations towards the cost of the game are greatly appreciated, because I feel like basically my game budget has been being stretched a lot more since I started streaming, which is fine, but I am excited to play Cult of the Lamb. I haven't fully decided that I'm playing it next week, but I'm most likely gonna start playing it next week because I'm weak and it looks fun. But yeah, okay. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, being we have quite a few shows to get through. Let's see what's up first. And hopefully this tier list setup will work well. Ooh, okay, so we're starting with Arifureta. For anyone who doesn't know this show, it's an isekai, came out a few years ago. Second season came out like last round of shows. But yeah, so this is actually one of my favorite shows. I love this show so much. Mostly because of the main character. He just looks really cool. So he's not actually a demon lord, but he kind of gives off demon lord vibes. He's one of those characters where it's like, if you're on his side, he's actually really nice, really caring and considerate. but if you get in the way, he's gonna kill you without a second thought. So he's just a really fun character. I love his character design. It's just very cool. And and so it's set in a fantasy world, of course, like many isekais. So it's like he makes all his like armor and weapons. He makes a Hummer from his magic. He just like, you know, rolls up in this fantasy land in a Hummer because he can, which is kind of fun. And this is technically a harem show, but it doesn't really feel like most harem shows, so I actually don't mind that aspect. Because it's like, yes, he's surrounded by a bunch of female characters who are all after him, but he's essentially married to Yue at this point. So it's like he just kind of lets the others come on the ride, which I think is kind of a cool dynamic. But yeah, I love this show. It's just very pretty, has a interesting story, and yeah, the character design is just very cool. So this one easily goes in the love tier because, yeah, I love this show. It's very good. I highly recommend it. Yeah, we'll just put it right there for now. So there we go. There's our first show on the list. And yeah, I love that show. I need to watch it again. It's very good. Oh boy, Attack on Titan. Very popular show. It's very well made. Both like the original Japanese and then like the anime dub is really good. I love the character design. I love especially the like uniform and what's it called? The mobility gear. I don't remember what it's actually called. I think that's really cool. Yeah, character design's cool. It has an interesting story. But I've only watched like the first 2 seasons of it. Because I really don't like the Titans, which is kind of the point. But I don't know. Well, okay. Except for like those Titans. Like Colossal Titan. He's cool. But I could never really get into the show. Well, I got into the first season. I think I watched part of the second. And that just kind of lost me. Like, it's interesting. Oh, also, Aaron drives me crazy. I don't like him. Which is why, this is gonna sound kind of petty maybe, but when I saw some of the like promotional art for the new season, I got really annoyed because they gave him longer hair. Like, I love his hair, but I hate his character. I was like very annoyed that they gave him cool hair. So yeah, it's like I want to finish this show because the story's interesting. There's some really good voice acting in it, but it kind of lost me partway through, which is kind of odd. It's like part of the reason it lost me is it's just so like heavy and kind of depressing, which is kind of odd for me because I like tragic stories. But for some reason, the show just couldn't hold my attention, which is kind of sad. I might finish it at some point. I've been saying that for a long time. So it's like I understand and appreciate why people like it. But for me, it's in the unfinished category because it just lost me. Also, as much as I like the costumes, I do feel like they were a little over cosplayed at times. It's like they look cool, but it's like there were a few cons I went to where it's like everyone was Attack on Titan cosplay. Not as bad as My Hero Academia. I went to one con a few years ago where it's like literally everyone was My Hero Academia, and it was a little much. But yeah, so Attack on Titan is now in the unfinished category. Welcome in, Meme Lord 46, 40, whatever. There are lots of numbers. 46, 46, 46, 46. Anyways, Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy your time here. But yeah, so we're doing an anime tier list today. We're 2 shows in. I'm sorry to all the Attack on Titan fans in chat. I tried. I appreciate the show, but I couldn't finish it. I don't know if I ever will. I might just like look up the story or something, because I'm kind of intrigued by elements of the story, but I don't really want to watch the show, so we'll see. I'm going to check what you linked real quick. We'll move on to the next show. Oh, it's a music video? Oh, I think that's one of those songs that I like know but I've never listened to. That's funny. Okay. Oh boy. Next on the list is Banana Fish. We're just keeping the pain and tragedy going. So I actually love this show. However, I've only ever watched it once because it is painful. I won't spoil the ending, but I will give you a heads up that the ending is painful. Beautiful, tragic, but oh so painful. But yeah, it's actually been years since I watched it, but it is a very good show. But yeah, be prepared to, you know, be prepared for pain if you watch this. But it is, like, I highly recommend it. It's very well made. It's a very like unique and interesting boy love show. And it's like set in, set in New York? And so it's kind of, yeah, it deals with like gangs and like all sorts of like heavy, complicated situations. But it's very good. But oh so painful. And so I'm putting it in the good tier, mostly just because I haven't been able to pull myself up and watch it again because it's painful, but good, but painful. So yeah, we're gonna putting it in the good tier. I did write fanfic for it, so I liked it enough. And like the characters are like interesting enough, the story's interesting enough. I did write fanfic for it back when I first watched it. Which, you know, shameless plug, always button. You can find the link to my AO3 page in my socials link. But yeah, so it's a really good show. Really interesting characters. Overall well done, but it's painful. So it's in the good tier, mostly, yeah, just because it's not a show I could watch multiple times. Ooh, Black Butler. The Black Butler is one of the first anime I ever watched. And I kind of, in some ways, I blame it for me getting obsessed with anime. Okay. In basically every instance, unless I say otherwise, I probably watch the dub, English dub. I just enjoy English dubs. I mean, I enjoy subs also. I normally watch the dub. And so J. Michael Tatum voices Sebastian, and he does incredible. And I kind of fell in love with his voice when I first watched Black Butler, and I just started trying to find every other show he was in. And, you know, J. Michael Tatum's been in a lot of anime. So once I started, I just essentially couldn't stop. So I semi-jokingly blame Sebastian and J. Michael Tatum for why I'm now obsessed with anime. Other great things about Black Butler. It's set in Victorian England, which I always love. That's very cool. Sebastian is a demon, also very cool. And Grell, one of the Grim Reapers, is one of my all-time favorite characters. He's just so much fun, so chaotic. I love his character design, but I love really all the character designs in Black Butler. Yeah, fun fact, Grell was the first character I ever cosplayed as. And he's still one of my favorites. Partially just because like so many people know that character, so it's really fun to cosplay as him. I will say, I'm not a fan of the season 2 of Black Butler. Season 2, in my opinion, kind of went off the rails. It got weird. Book of Murder is my favorite. I guess you would call it season. Favorite part of the series. Yeah. I mean, Book of Murder is technically 2 OVAs, but it's my favorite arc. There we go. My favorite arc of Black Butler in both, well, the anime and the bit of the manga that I read is my favorite. I was caught up with the manga at one point and then I fell behind, so I'm probably like dozens of volumes behind on it. But yeah, so Black Butler, beautiful show. It has, all good things. Victorian England, demons, Grim Reapers. Yeah, it's just very fun. Beautiful voice acting. Beautiful character design. And yeah, so this show easily goes into my love category. Hey, welcome in, Gonzalo. And yeah, this time. We're 4 episodes in. 4 shows in. And yeah, so I think the Black Butler is obviously in the love category. I think it's very hard. It and Ari Fureta are very close within this category. I don't know. It's very hard. These two are essentially tied. It depends on my mood whether I want Ari Fureta or Black Butler more at any given time. Because they're both excellent shows and also both very different from each other. Lately, I've mostly been watching I've been watching Ari Fureta more. That's because most of Black Butler got taken off streaming services, and it made me very, very sad. I own almost all of it on DVD. I don't think I have Book of Circus, but I have. Maybe I don't have. I have some of Black Butler on DVD. I don't remember how much. I have at least 3. Okay, 1, 2, and Book of Murder. I might not have Book of Circus or Book of the Atlantic. Yeah, no garbage category. The closest to garbage category would be unfinished. Like, there's a few shows in there that are unfinished because I just couldn't handle it. Not Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan it's unfinished just because I kind of lost interest. Like, it's not bad, but I've never finished it. There is at least one, though, an unfinished, where it's unfinished because I literally couldn't stand it anymore. And then, yeah. So the category is stuff that's like, well, these shows aren't bad, but they're not exactly good either, so they're just kind of Okay. Let's see what's next. Black Clover. This is another show that sort of similar to Attack on Titan, although I think I like it better. But I actually really loved this show when it first came out. I thought it was just really cool. It has some cool character designs, an interesting story, some cool animation and stuff. But it's a shonen, although it's not a super shonen-y shonen, because I don't like some shonen, but the problem is they did like 4 seasons back to back, non-stop, and I just couldn't keep up. I kind of joke that's like to keep up with Black Clover, you needed like Shonen Pro tag stamina, and I don't have it. So it's like in comparison to like My Hero Academia, it's like that's been going on for a long time, but they take like breaks between seasons. Black Clover didn't do that. It just kept coming on and on and on. So I fell behind, and I've only watched like half of it. Like I want to go watch the rest, but there's just so much of it. But I do need to watch it because there are some really, really cool characters. I love this guy. He's my favorite. What's he called? I almost said Demon King. He's not the Demon King. I don't remember what his name is. He has a cool title, but he's like the top mage of the world, or not the world, of the kingdom. And he's a great character. Super fun. Wizard King, that's what it is. He's the Wizard King. He's very cool. He's super fun. I love him. He's also voiced by one of my favorite voice actors, so that helps. But yeah, so I love the show, but it's in the unfinished category because I don't have Shonen Pro tag stamina. I do want to finish it at some point, so it's definitely going at the front of the unfinished category because it is one of my favorites. I need to move Attack on Titan. Anyway. There we go. Steins Gate would be in your top 7. It is a very good show. It is in this list, but I'm going in alphabetical order, so it'll take us a little while to get there. But we will get to it eventually. Okay, up next. Bleach. Yeah, Bleach is it's a pretty classic show. And I'll be honest, I know next to nothing about it, and I have never watched a single episode, and I don't know if I ever will. No particular reason other than, I don't know, there's a lot of episodes. I really don't know why. I also kind of forget about it, that it exists. I will say though, that guy with the red hair looks really cool. So maybe I'll watch it someday, but I don't know. I've never watched it. Know nothing about it. Alright, thanks for stopping by, Mick. I hope you get all your stuff done. And that you have a good rest of your day until I see you again. But yeah, so Bleach. Just, if I can select the right layer. There we go. Bleach goes straight into unwatched because, like, I don't know why. I just like forget it exists. It's just for some reason not in my like sphere of awareness most of the time. Okay, Cells at Work. This was one of the few shows on this list that I've only watched the sub version of. I haven't watched the dub yet. I want to, but I haven't. I'm also slightly cheating because I've only watched the first season, but I'm gonna rank it. I'm not putting it in the unfinished. I'm just basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm ranking it based off of the first season. Because the only reason I haven't watched it yet is, or watched the second season yet. Okay, to be honest. The reason I didn't watch the second season when it came out is because it like came out in the start of the pandemic, and I'm like, I don't feel like watching a show about the immune system right now. So that's why I haven't watched it, and that's, yeah, kind of why I'm not putting it in the unfinished category, because I would watch it. I just have not been in the mood for that kind of show. But this is a very good show. The art's very good, and it's just really clever and really well done. Of making a show out of like blood cells and stuff. It's very cool, and so it's easily going in the good category. Because it's a very cool, very very pretty, very like clever and interesting show. I think I'm still gonna put it under Banana Fish, because I do love Banana Fish, even though I've only watched it once because it's painful and I don't know if I'll ever be able to watch it again. But it's a good show. Hey, Dead Shores, welcome in. Okay, next on the list is Death Note. For some unknown reason, I've yet to watch this show. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of know why. I keep forgetting about it, I'll be honest. Because I'm pretty sure I would love this show if I watched it. I just haven't yet. I really need to. It was your first anime, it's awesome. Yeah. I know it's a good show. I just haven't gotten around to watching it. So yeah, it's definitely going in the front of the unwatched tier because I want to watch it. And I'm like, sure, I'll love it once I do. I just haven't watched it yet. So we'll put it there and then move Bleach down. There we go. The first half is good, they ruined it with the second half. It's kind of like the Black Butler anime. First season was great. Second season went kind of off the rails. And then they, just started doing the manga again and it was much better. The Promised Neverland was your first anime. Do I have that on this? I do have that on this list. So we'll talk about that show later. Up next, Diabolic Lovers. So this is a fun little show. It's a vampire show. Well, it's like a vampire reverse harem show, which I suppose from the cover is kind of obvious. And I love the vampires. It has a kind of cool art style. Kind of cool story. Not super interesting, but it's not a bad story. But the main problem... Oh, also, another thing I love about this show is... Which characters? I think it's this character, like white-haired character. Is voiced by Josh Greeley in the English dub. And his character is just like constantly mad. He's always angry, always grumpy. And it just cracks me up because most of Josh Greeley's characters are like the fun, upbeat, energetic, bright sunshine characters. So hearing them just like angry for some reason cracks me up and I love it. And I think this character is voiced by David Wald. He's one of the characters in this show. Anyway, so there's some really good voice actors in this show. And I love vampires. I love reverse harems. Reverse harem was my favorite genre for a few years. But the main girl in this show, the main character, is obnoxious. She essentially does nothing except like whine and complain and like really unpleasant high-pitched voice. And I just don't like her at all. So direct to the love category. I want to love this show because I love a good vampire reverse harem. However, mostly because the main character is completely obnoxious, this goes straight to the category. Like, I love it, but Oops, I hit the wrong button. Like I love the vampire aspect of it. And the art's kind of cool, but the story's not bad, but it's not really interesting enough to get over the fact that it is mostly just like this super weak damsel in distress who can't do anything and is just whining all the time. Surrounded by a bunch of vampires who want to drink her blood. So, sadly, it's in the category because I like the vampires, but I don't like the main character, and the story is mostly focused on the main character. So, so I still enjoy it. I still rewatch it quite a lot, but yeah. Okay, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Now this is a fun show. I enjoy the show. It's a nice, it's kind of a nice, like, casual show, I guess you could say. Just, yeah, it's a very chill show. It's a fun idea of, like, all these dragons taking on human forms, and Kanan is absolutely adorable. Also, like, the Kobayashi is a cool character, how she's, I don't know, almost gender neutral at times, which I think is kind of cool. And yeah, so I really like this show. But for me, it's in the good category. It's like I like it, but I'm not like obsessed with it. It's more, I don't know, for me it's more just like this is just like an easy chill anime. So if it's like I want a soft, chill, relaxed anime, this is definitely one of the first ones I go to. But yeah, but it's not one I would, you know, just like randomly decide like rewatch because like I love the show or something. So I think now I need to decide where in the good tier it goes. I think I might Oh, this is tough. I think I'll put it at the front of the good tier. Mostly just because I don't think I'll ever rewatch Banana Fish. So it's like I love Banana Fish, but at the same time, like, am I ever gonna like rewatch it? Probably not. But I do rewatch Dragon Maid because it's just like a really nice, chill, relaxed, fun show, and like Dragon Maid is also just like a good like show for basically anyone to watch. Like Banana Fish would only suit like certain audiences, but Dragon Maid, I feel like basically anyone could find something I like about Dragon Maid. So yeah, we'll do that ranking for now. Okay, Dr. Stone. I actually love this show. I love how sciencey it gets. As a science nerd myself, I love all the sciencey stuff. And it's just, yeah, really interesting premise, how it's like sort of isekai, sort of time travel, but also technically not either of those things. So like the world building is really interesting. Character design's pretty cool. Again, it has some really good voice acting in it. So yeah, I love this show. It's a very cool show. I'm excited for more of it. And yeah, so this one easily goes into the love category. I think it's gonna go in right here in third. Cause like I love the sciencey bit, but I can't really beat these two because again, we have like demon lord type vibes. Victorian England in the case of Black Butler. Hard to beat those. Yeah, Dr. Stone, easily in third place in the love category. Right now, at least. I don't remember what else is in this category, but at the moment, Easy third place. Okay, Fairy Tale. I actually really love the show. And to be honest, it's part of it was part of my inspiration for, making the Goldthorn Guild. It was inspired a lot by the Fairy Tale Guild and just, how it's like this place where people can just come together and hang out. And I think that's really cool. And yeah, I think the story's interesting, characters are cool. But there's a lot of episodes, and I fell behind. I don't know if I'll ever finish it. So it's in the unfinished category. Right behind Black Clover. Because I love the show, but there's a whole lot of episodes. And yeah, so I don't like it. Like, I like the story and like world of Black Clover slightly better than Fairy Tale. So that's why Black Clover's in first. Fairy Tale is in third, and now Attack on Titan. Slide down into third. Okay, Fire Force. This show actually took me a while to like get into and actually watch, because it has a kind of different art style, which does take a little getting used to. And to be honest, two of the like main characters are kind of obnoxious. They're a little too shonen pro tag for me. But the show does have kind of a interesting mix of just like modern day firefighters and like magic. And like some of the magic powers some of the different people have is really cool. It has a kind of interesting story where you're kind of learning. There's a lot of mystery and suspense involved, I guess. It's like it seems kind of cut and dry at first, but then you find out there's a lot of mystery, suspense going on in the background. It's quite a wide variety of characters. Like they're all pretty unique. Except maybe the main character's a little too close to being like a generic shonen pro tag, but he has an interesting story also. So I like the show. It's a good show, but I'm still putting it in the category just because like I watched it, I enjoyed it, but I don't know that I will necessarily like go watch it again or anything. It's like it was interesting, and if you're into kind of like, I don't know, different types of like shonen type shows, it's interesting, but not quite my cup of tea. So it's going in the category because like it's good, but I don't think I'll watch it again. You don't like the Fire Force anime, you like the manga though? That's cool. I've read very few manga, so I'm mostly only an anime person. Okay, Food Wars. I need to try watching this show again. I watched an episode of it years ago, and I couldn't get through the episode. The whole like weird fan service when they were eating the food just kind of freaked me out at the time. I don't even know if I finished the first episode. I would probably be fine with it now though, so I really do need to go back and watch it, because yeah, I bet I would enjoy it now. But it goes in the unfinished category because my first experience of it was like one of the first shows I watched that had like, weird anime fan servicey stuff, and I couldn't do it. I'm sure I could now, but I haven't watched anymore, so it's going in unfinished. And It's gonna go behind Attack on Titan just because, like, I do like Attack on Titan. I know I like it. I just also am not interested enough to watch it. So it's gonna go there. You've got a love-hate relationship with Food Wars. It's good, but it makes me very hungry. Okay, I'm like that with... What show was it? Restaurant to Another World? In Another World? Something like that. Which, yeah, it was a very... Like, it was interesting, a very chill, relaxed little show. But, yeah, it makes you hungry every time because it's essentially like a fantasy show that just highlights food and makes like a little story around like two or three food dishes that it highlights. And of course, the food is animated even better than, like, anime food always looks good, but in that show they just made the food look really, really good. And so it always made me hungry. Okay, next up is Free. I'm also slightly cheating on this one because I technically haven't finished yet. I think I still have like half of the last season to watch. I got distracted. I think it came out in the like anime season when I was watching like everything that was coming out, and so it, no pun intended, got drowned out by like everything else that season. But yeah, so I enjoy Free. It's a good show. I'm not like a huge fan of sports anime, so if you're into sports anime, I'm sure you'd love the show. It's like the character design's pretty cool. There's some interesting characters. You have quite a lot of characters, which is kind of nice. So there's, you know, a bit of something for everyone. Other problem with this show is I love to swim. So whenever I watch it, it makes me badly want to go swimming. So there have been a few times where I've thought of watching it, but there was no like pool near me. I'm like, I can't torture myself. That might be the other reason why I didn't finish. So that it came out when I didn't have any access to a pool, and I just couldn't torture myself with wanting to go swimming every time I watched it. But yeah, so this show, it's going in the category because like it's not bad, and for a sports anime, it's good. Yeah, someone used the sound alerts and did a 100-bit sound alert. So yeah, you're no longer on the top of the leaderboard. But yeah, so Free, it's a good show, but it's also a sports anime, and I don't care that much about sports anime, and I technically never finished it. But yeah, so it's like, it's a good show. I enjoy it, but it's in the category for me. Ooh. Now the question is whether it goes above or below Fire Force. Fire and Water are having a battle here. I think it might go... I think it is going to go slightly below Fire Force, just because I like fantasy anime more than sports anime. But it's very close between Fire and Water. Okay, next is Gossip. This is an interesting show. I feel like it's kind of, what's the word I want? I don't know what the word I want is. Lesser known show. But should be more well known. It's... I will admit it's kind of... It feels kind of slow paced at times. But it's... So it's sort of a mystery solving show. Kind of. It's like a mix of fantasy and like mystery. Where, so basically, the girl Victory gets like sort of, like, she sort of has Sherlock Holmes vibes where, like, if you tell her a puzzle or a mystery, she can solve it sometimes without, like, even seeing the crime scene, just from, like, hearing about it. She can solve the mystery. And then, I don't remember the guy's name. Anywho, the guy's kind of like the Watson to her Sherlock, where he's like a foreign kid going to this school with her, and he's kind of being dragged along for the ride, but like he's a very caring person, sometimes, you know, to his own detriment. But yeah, so it's very interesting. It has kind of Sherlock Holmes vibes, but it's also set in like a sort of historical, sort of fantasy world. So yeah, I think it's a good show. I enjoy it. It wouldn't necessarily be for anyone, because I will admit the pacing is kind of slow at times, but it's an interesting show. So it's going in the good category. At the bottom of the good category right now anyways. Like, I would always watch those before I watch Gothic, unless like you really want a kind of chill, slow, like mystery show. But yeah, I'll put Gothic there. Okay. Now we have Gridman. And so it's an interesting show. It has some really cool characters. Has some really good voice actors in it. The main character, Yuta, is voiced by my favoriteest voice actor, Brandon McInnes. And also, Brandon did a cover of the opening of the show, one of the songs from the show, under this like really cheesy 80s music video. I highly recommend it because it's hilarious. There's also at least one French bulldog makes an appearance. I should actually find it. I'm gonna find the link because it is a very good video and I feel like sharing it. So one moment. There you go. There's a cover of it. It's very funny video. Anyways, so Gridman. It was a good show. I enjoyed it. It helped that there were some of my favorite voice actors in it. I thought it was really well made. Kind of interesting story. However, I'm not the target audience of mecha animes. I can't exactly explain why, but I'm not a big fan. So sadly, it goes in the category for me. It's like, it's a good show. I highly recommend it, but at the same time, I'm probably never going to rewatch it because it's just not my type of show. So I feel bad putting it at the bottom of this category. But for me, that's where it goes, because... well, to be honest, it's very close to Free. It might go above Free, because I'm not into sports anime either. Okay, actually, I'm going to put it above Free. But just barely. Most of the category is a very close race. But yeah, so it's like, it's a good show. I highly recommend it, but I'm not the target audience. Okay. Hakata Tonkatsu Ramens. I love this show. It's super fun. Like, I love the art style. I love the character designs. I cosplay, if cosplayed as Bomba. But it's also a very interesting show because it's like really like wholesome, but it's also about hitmen and assassins. And it's just very amusing how it's like a super soft, wholesome show. And you like fall in love with all these characters. They're all good boys, but they're also, you know, assassins, hitmen, hackers. So it's a fun dichotomy, I guess you could say, of, yeah, it's a hitman show that's super soft and wholesome. And yeah, the voice acting is great. Bomba is voiced by Josh Greeley, and Lynn is voiced by Damon Mills, and they do an excellent job. And it's just, yeah, it's a great show. And it's not technically boy love, but it's very easy to ship the two main characters. I mean, very, very easy. Nothing's explicit in the show, but it's very easy. I can't remember now if I don't think I have written a fanfic for them. I've thought about it. But yeah, I love this show. Music's great. Art's great. Story's like really interesting. It's a kind of like a, I guess you could say it's a healing and getting freedom from your past sort of story. So it's like Lynn has a really, really messed up traumatic past that he's having to deal with, and then Bomba, like, through like, what's the word? Coincidence, basically, they end up living together, and through that process, Bomba's kind of helps Lynn move on from his past and be able to like live his own life, basically. So it's like, yeah, a really wholesome, uplifting story, positive messages coming to you from hitmen and hackers and assassins. So yeah, I love the show. Highly recommend it. So it definitely goes in the love category. How Tricky Bar is where exactly? It's very close. Yeah, I think. I think I'm gonna have to put it above Black Butler. It's like I love Black Butler, but it's just something really special about this show. I think technically on my current like ranking list, it's below Arifureta, but right now, I think I'm gonna put it above Arifureta because it is just really special. I've never watched another show quite like it. It's really special, really wholesome, really fun. But yeah, it and Arifureta kind of take turns being at the top of this list. We'll do that, and I'm just gonna overhang into the love label because I don't feel like reorganizing. Okay. Oh, how about Official's Blessing? I adore this show. It is absolutely, like, the animation is absolutely gorgeous. I'd suggest watching it just for that. It's one of the most beautiful, like, visually beautiful shows I've seen in a while. Music is also gorgeous. Story is amazing. Voice acting is amazing. Yeah, I adore this show. It's gorgeous. I love it so much. I'm also reading. I love it so much that I've actually bought the light novel series, and I'm reading the series. I've read the comic as much as it's out now. I adore the show. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. I highly suggest everyone go watch it. And so yeah, this one goes straight into the top 7 category because It's a gorgeous, gorgeous show, and I love it so much. And it is currently at, let's see, number 3, so that's like right there. This is, as of right now, this is my all-time, third favorite all-time. Or third, yeah. It's in my top 7 of all time in place number 3. There we go. Third favorite anime. Because yeah, it is gorgeous. I also regularly look at fan art for it on Twitter because there's always more being added. And they're like gorgeous. Okay. Next show. Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. Anyways. I'll be honest, I haven't watched the show again. I'm not 100% sure why. I think it's mostly I just forgot about it. Because that character alone makes me want to watch it. He looks awesome. But yeah, I've heard great things about this show. I just, for some reason, it's never crossed my path. But I already know, like, just from looking at Gojo, he's lovely. I want to watch it just for him. I will at some point. So this show's gonna go... Basically, it's with Death Note. I'm going to say it and Death Note are probably tied because they're both shows that I know very little about, except that they're super popular, they're good shows, and I want to watch them, but I keep forgetting. So we're technically putting it behind Death Note, but they're basically the same. And I'll move Bleach down here. Go. Okay, Moriarty the Patriot. I am also obsessed with this show. It is gorgeous. Like the art and characters designs, animation, sound design, it's all gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. And so it's basically it's Sherlock Holmes, but with Moriarty as the main character. So it's a very interesting take on like some of the like classic Sherlock Holmes characters. It has references to some of the, classic Sherlock Holmes stories. And yeah, it's beautiful. All the characters are like really well developed. They have interesting stories. Voice acting is beautiful. And yeah, I am obsessed with this show. I wrote a relatively long fanfic for it because I just love these characters so much. And yeah, the soundtrack is on Spotify, which is awesome. And it's gorgeous and has been like my soundtrack to listen to for quite a while now. Yeah, I highly, highly recommend this show. And again, it's not like boy love at all, but it's very easy. Very, very easy to ship Moriarty and Sherlock. So yeah, I love the show. Highly recommend it. It is, yeah. So in my tier list, it's going right behind. Very close 4th place behind Evan Official's Blessing. But like in general, I would actually probably recommend Moriarty the Patriot before Heaven Official's Blessing, just like the general person, because it is a more familiar story, I guess. Since it's Sherlock Holmes set in England versus Heaven Official's Blessing, which is like Chinese deities type story. But yeah, so that one might not be as like easily relatable to some people, but yeah, Heaven Official's Blessing and Moriarty the Patriot are both brilliant and beautiful shows, and everyone should watch them. All right, another big show here, My Hero Academia. I really love this show. I enjoy it quite a lot. I'm completely caught up. Well, okay, I'm caught up except for the newest movie. I haven't seen the newest movie. I think I've seen everything else. But yeah, super fun show. It's a shonen, but the main character is like a total nerd, which I love. Because like some shonen pro tags just get on my nerves. But I love Deku. He's fun. He's just like a total nerd and it's adorable. But yeah, I enjoy this show. Yeah, I like how there are so many different characters. Season 4 is by far my favorite so far. The one with Chie Saikai and Tsunaidai. No spoilers, but it's a good season. And part of the reason I love it is because I love feels and tragedy. That's all I'll say for those who don't know what happens. But I highly recommend this show. I love it. It's a lot of fun. That being said, it's still going in the good category for me because, like, I enjoy it, but, like, I'm not, like, utterly obsessed with it. It is going to go in the front of the good category, though. I need to shift everything down. It's an excellent show. I really enjoy it. I did write a fanfic. So I wrote a fanfic for this show where I essentially rewrote the ending of season 4. And I made Tsunaidai a web developer. I made an original character who starts a support agency where they do techie stuff for all the other heroes because I'm a nerd like that and I thought it sounded fun. But yeah, so I love My Hero Academia, but it just goes in the good category because I'm just like, I don't love it, but it's a great show. But yeah, I have been to an anime a few years ago where it's like everyone was a My Hero Academia cosplay, and it was a little much. I will admit, after that weekend, I'm like, I can't see another My Hero Academia character for like at least a month because there were too many of them. Okay, another big one, Naruto. And this is another case of a big, well-known anime that I know next to nothing about. And so this is also going in the unwatched category in the same like group as Bleach. It's one of those shows where it's like, I know it exists, and that's about it. And I'll probably never watch it because there's a lot of episodes and it's like, I don't really... It's not the type of show that I would like go out of my way to watch anyways. Naruto's just too slow. Yeah, so I'll probably never watch a show, and I'm fine with that. So yeah, Naruto, you could go down with Bleach. Probably after Bleach, just because I have seen some characters from Bleach that do look really cool. I don't think I've seen any Naruto characters where I'm just like, oh my goodness, that character's so cool. 155 episodes. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. It's like, it looks like a shonen fighting anime that can get on my nerves. So Dragon Ball's not on this list, but, well, it would go in the unfinished category. I've watched some Dragon Ball, but yeah, the fights just last way too long. So I've seen like a couple random episodes from Dragon Ball Z and maybe from Dragon Ball. I've watched most of Dragon Ball Super. I enjoy Dragon Ball Super. But yeah, I don't think I finished the big tournament at the end because it's just so much fighting and it's all kind of... It gets really repetitive. So yeah, shonen fighting animes really aren't for me, which is, yeah, why I'll probably never watch Naruto. Oh look, and now we're on to One Piece. I've never watched any of One Piece, and I probably won't because there's just too much of it at this point. I was like, I hear good things about One Piece. There's lots of good voice actors in One Piece. But there is so much One Piece. So I don't think I'll ever watch it. So yeah, this is going straight down into unwatched. Probably below. We'll just put at the bottom. It's like there's just too much One Piece. I can't commit to that much. So there we go. One Piece is down there. Okay. And let's see. Next on the list is One Punch Man. So I've watched like part of an episode. I don't think I watched a whole episode. But my brothers showed me part of an episode when they were really into it. I think the main problem is they showed me the wrong episode because the character design I just couldn't do. I'm just like, this is weird. So I stopped watching. I need to give it another try because I don't even think it was an episode. I think it was like a fight from one of the episodes. That it just wasn't a good first impression. But I might like the show if I actually like sat down and watched it. So yeah, it's in the unwatched category. But I'll put it above Bleach just because I might watch it at some point, but it's definitely below Death Note and such because it's like I might watch it, but also there's not anything really, calling me to go watch the show, except that I've heard that it's good and people like it. So we'll put it there. And now I need to move things again. Okay, I'm realizing now that this is not the most efficient way to do this, but that's okay. Naruto. Oh, okay. Naruto over there. There we go. And then One Piece goes down there. One Punch Man's a good laugh. Yeah, I've heard really good things about One Punch Man. I haven't watched it. I'm not sure if it would really be like my cup of tea, but I might watch it at some point. We'll see. Okay, next up is Pre-Tier. This is an older anime. It's a magical girl show. But it's kind of like magical girl mixed with reverse harem. Sort of. I mean, it's not super. Looks like a classic. Yeah, I don't remember when it came out. But it is an older show, but I enjoyed it. I like some of the character designs. The story's kind of interesting. I mean, it's probably... I haven't watched many magical girl shows, but I feel like it's kind of a traditional magical girl storyline. Yeah, so basically, she's the magical girl, and there's, I think, six guys who are like supposed to be like her knights who come and find her, and then they essentially like magically combine together sort of thing to fight off evil. So that's kind of interesting. And I enjoy that more than just like a cute little creature. It's like you had to choose between a cute little creature or, well, I was going to say hot guys, but really only two of them, maybe three are hot, and then there's like three kids. But that's kind of interesting. Transformations though, because it's like them combining They are kind of weird. And yeah. But basically I love these two guys. And everyone else is just kind of there for the ride. So I'm putting this one in the category because mostly, again, I'm not the target audience of magical girl shows. I generally don't like them. This one's okay, again, mostly because of these two. So the reason I like this show, when it comes down to it, is that they caught dark-haired and light-haired guys. So yeah. But it is a good show. It's not like super like cliche magical girl repetitiveness, but it also kind of is. So yeah, we're gonna put this down here. You know, I'm actually gonna put this. Ooh, I think it's gonna be. It might actually be above all these, because it's like a very like chill kind of comfy show. But like it's relaxing. So it's good to like turn on in the background when you just want to chill. But I think I'm actually gonna put it. Oh, this category, they're all very close. But I think I'm actually might put it up here above Fire Force. Just because it is so like chill and relaxing, I probably would be more likely to rewatch it than these. And the main character, I kind of like the main character. But, well, I do mostly watch it just for the two guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this up here. But again, this whole category is it's a very tight race. They're all pretty close. Diabolic Lovers is still in front, mostly just because it's vampires, and I love vampires. Hey, Q, welcome in. How you doing? We're a little over, looks like a little over halfway through our tier list. Maybe over halfway? I don't know, I'm not going to count. And now we are on to another magical girl show, and this picture makes my eyes hurt. It is way too bright and colorful. So my brother loves Pretty Cure. So I've seen bits and pieces of it when he's like tried to get me to watch it. But again, magical girl shows aren't my genre. And this is just like, I love color, but this is just way too much. It's too bright. It makes my eyes hurt. So I'm putting this in the unfinished category because I have sort of tried to watch it and it just doesn't work. Ooh, eat ice cream? So you're eating ice cream? Ice cream is good. But yeah, this show's going into, I think, the bottom of the unfinished. I've tried. I don't think I will ever be able to watch it. Whoops. Dang it. Because yeah, it's a magical girl show. It's bright and colorful and cute, and it's not for me. Which you could probably guess by looking at, my love category, which is, hitmen, demons, essentially a demon lord who will kill you if you get in his way. So yeah, bright, colorful, cutesy things. They're just not my style. Yeah, Madoka Magica. I've either watched some of that, or like my mom and brothers have tried to get me to watch it because they think I'll like it. But yeah, there's a few magical girl shows I can do. So like Pre-Tier is pretty good. Cardcaptor Sakura, I actually really enjoy that show. But yeah, in general though, like magical girls and mecha in general, I don't like it. There are a few exceptions, but yeah, that Pretty Cure. Yeah, that's what it's called. It just it's so bright it makes my eyes hurt. So yeah. Promise Neverland. So this is another show that for whatever reason I haven't watched yet. I want to watch it, but I haven't. I've heard good things about it. It seems interesting. I just haven't got around to watching it. So yeah, I actually don't know much about it except that I hear it's good. Yeah, I've also heard that the second season is not great. But yeah, so this one's going in the unwatched category up here with Death Note and such. I'm gonna put it there because I'm too lazy to move everything. Yeah, like those three, they're all. I mean, technically, I would probably watch that one first of those three anyway. So yeah, we'll put it there, right at the front of the unwatched category. Okay. And now, before we go on to the next one, we're going to take a quick break because I need to get some more water. So we'll take a quick break and then we'll come back and finish up this tier list. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. I have water. Now we can continue. Okay. Next up is Psycho-Pass. I love this show. If you're into like suspense thrillers, okay. If you're into suspense thrillers and like sci-fi, I highly recommend this show. It's very cool. A little dark, but it's really good. I will admit, technically this season or this show's unfinished for me because I haven't watched the third season yet. Partially because I was hoping they would dub it, but unfortunately, I think Amazon got it. So I don't know if it'll ever be dubbed, which is sad because the dub cast is really good. But yeah, I love this show. It's a like beautiful design, beautiful animation. I really enjoyed the character designs. And yeah, just a really interesting, kind of suspenseful, psychologic type thriller show. And yeah, highly recommend it. It's very cool. Yeah, this one easily goes in the love category. Probably I probably have to put it right below Black Butler. Yeah, we're gonna put below Black Butler. Also, one other thing I love about Psycho-Pass, in the first season, the villain, the white-haired guy, he kind of has like Moriarty vibes to him, in that he's like the mastermind behind like the actions of other people. He's also like a total book nerd, and there are lots of literary references in the first season especially, which I think is really fun. As a book nerd myself, I enjoy like all the literary references. Like there are references to Shakespeare and other things. I'm now spacing on what they do, but there are also scenes where they literally just like are discussing like books and philosophy, and so it's really cool. It's really interesting. So yeah, I like the kind of Moriarty book nerd vibes of the villain in the first season. One of my first fanfics I ever wrote, well actually maybe that's not true, one of my early fanfics was a Psycho-Pass fanfic where I essentially rewrote the ending of season 1. It's like the ending of season 1's not bad, but I felt like it could turn out better for my favorite character, so I rewrote it. I wrote an alternate ending. But yeah, great show. Highly recommend it. Okay. Don't mind the poor image quality of this one. I didn't feel like finding a better one. But yeah, so quintessential quintuplets. This is kind of... So it's a harem show. This anime's popular? I wasn't actually sure how popular it was. Because yeah, it's a newish show. It's essentially a harem anime where all the girls are quintuplets. So it's kind of interesting dynamics. It is slightly weird because so one thing I didn't like about it, though I understand why they did it, is obviously all the girls look very different. Like they gave them all different hairstyles, different accessories. But the like other characters in the anime with them can't tell them apart. Which it's like I get what they're doing, but it didn't work well in my opinion. Like it made some great moments where it's like the main character couldn't tell the girls apart, but obviously they wanted the viewers to be able to tell the girls apart. So I don't know. I didn't like that aspect of it. It just felt weird and awkward. It's like, you know, the guy's having to, like, can't tell whether, you know, this long red hair girl's talking to him or the short pink haired girl. And it's like, I get it, but I don't like it. But it was a fun little show. It was definitely had an interesting story and character dynamics and such, but yeah, so for me, this is in the category. It's like, it's a good show. I enjoyed watching it. It's a nice, again, it's kind of like a nice, chill, relaxing show, but, and for a harem show, I enjoyed it because I don't like, well, for me, it's like 50-50 chance whether I'll like a harem anime or hate it. But this one was pretty good. So yeah, I do recommend it, but yeah, I wasn't, it's not a show I'm gonna like watch repeatedly or anything. Partially, yeah, because they use the like bit of him not being able to tell them apart quite a lot, which just feels weird when the viewer can clearly tell the difference between these different characters. So yeah, good show, but meh. I'm gonna stick it at the bottom of this category. Like, it is good, but it also just didn't really work for me. Okay, I'm very excited for the next one. Sasaki and Miyano. Absolutely lovely, gorgeous, amazing show. Funny story, I watched the first episode of the show when it first came out. And honestly, I didn't think I was gonna like the show. I thought it was gonna be too like soft and cutesy. It's like the first episode, that's basically what the first episode was. It's like, oh, this looks like it's gonna be a soft, cute, like easy little show. I don't know why. It didn't strike me at first as being a show I'd enjoy. And then like 2 episodes in, I was utterly obsessed. I love Sasaki, the orange-haired guy. I love him so much. He's one of my favorite characters ever. And the voice acting in the show is phenomenal, especially for Sasaki. It's like the range and dynamics of his voice is incredible. He makes so many like funny little sounds that I'm just like, yeah, I was just like constantly like laughing and like stopping and rewinding to like hear sounds again, because yeah, his voice was just kind of, his voice was all over the place, but like in a really natural way. So it didn't feel like there are some characters whose like, you know, voice is like all over the place, making weird noises, going like changing the sound, and it's just like really comedic. But for him, it just felt like really natural and like adorable, and I loved it so much. So yeah, I've rewatched this anime a few times, even though it like just came out. I absolutely love this show, and it's a really good story. So it's a boy love story, but yeah, they just present in like a really like realistic way. So it's not like, I don't know. Yeah, just like really realistic and like respectful way of portraying these two characters kind of figuring out that they're into guys, and then that they're into each other, and that they want to be in a relationship and stuff like that. So I really enjoy it, and it's sort of a slow burn. So if you like slow burn stories, you might enjoy this one. But it's not like a tedious, needlessly drawn out slow burn, because I don't like those, but I really like this one. I think they did it, yeah, really well. It's just a really soft, sweet story between these two very sweet, adorable characters. So I love it. And yeah, the art animation's really nice, the music's really nice. And yeah, so this show easily made its way into my top 7, because yeah, it's a beautiful show. I absolutely adore it. I think everyone should watch it because it's brilliant. So yeah, it goes right up here, right behind Moriarty the Patriot. But yes, watch that show. It's lovely, and I adore it. Okay, up next, very fun show, Skate to Infinity. You probably may recognize some of these characters because I did pick slight fan art of them. I've written four pieces of fanfic for the show, I think. Five pieces of fanfic. 2 for Joe and Cherry, and then 3 for Ayanosuke and Tadashi. But yeah, so this is a very fun show. The animation is gorgeous. The story is really fun. The characters are all really interesting, and it's like a, what do you call it? A original story, as in there's no manga or anything behind it. It just went straight. The anime is the first iteration of it, but it's a really good show. So it's sort of, I mean, it's technically a sports anime, I guess, because I mean it's about skateboarders, as you could probably guess. Don't mind that. But yeah, so it's about these like skateboarders who compete in like semi-illegal like skateboarding races late at night. But it's like a really, like, it's not really about skateboarding. It's more about like friendships and socializing and like, you know, learning to accept yourself. So it covers like lots of like real life struggles and topics and stuff, which is cool. And then it does it just like really fun, kind of over the top way. And yeah, all the characters are really well written. The dub cast is phenomenal. The dub cast also absolutely loves the show. So like the voice actors for Joe and Cherry, they ship those two all the way. So again, this is another show that's like, it's not technically boy love, but at the same time, it's like basically is. It's so easy to ship Reki and Lunga and Joe and Cherry. It's like none of them are technically canon in a relationship, but they essentially are. So it's a very fun show, very pretty. And yeah, I highly recommend it. I think it's probably pretty obvious that this is in my top 7, being I've written essentially a novel for it. My last fanfic I wrote for this show literally was like 70,000 words long. It was insane. But yeah, love this show. So this one, this one is actually it goes at the end of my top 7, but it's, yeah, definitely in my top 7 shows because it is a beautiful show. I love it. It's super fun. And yeah, I would recommend it. And there's a OVA in season 2 coming soon. So that's exciting. Those just got announced a few weeks ago. Also, so Skate, Adam, or Ayanosuke, is voiced by David Wald, who is like one of my all-time favorite voice actors. And he has, in Skate, he made like one of the most iconic anime lines in probably like dub history. And it's one of my all-time favorite lines, and it was just like improvised by him on the spot because he is a brilliant person. But yeah, go watch Skate. It's amazing. Okay, this is a really fun show. Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle. It's this really like funny, cute, lighthearted comedy, essentially about this princess who gets kidnapped by the demon lord and is like held as prisoner, but all she does is sleep, and like each episode is her just like going on like adventures that cause problems for everyone around her as she goes to, you know, hunt down better sleeping material. So it's like the first episode, she breaks out of her jail cell and then just like steals materials to make a pillowcase. And that just continues for the whole season. It's like every episode is her breaking out of prison to go like steal stuff to make her bedroom more comfortable. And it's like hilarious and adorable. And the other thing I love is like on the surface she seems like this really like cute, soft, innocent little girl. But then if you stop and think about what she's doing, she's actually like really twisted and is essentially like murdering demons and like other creatures, which I just find, I don't know, maybe I have a dark sense of humor, but I find it very amusing and hilarious that it's like she's by far more like twisted and heartless than like all the demons that are supposed to be like the evil villains of the world. And it's just really funny. But yeah, so I love this show. It's again also a nice, chill, relaxing show. I honestly play it sometimes at night to like fall asleep to because just, yeah, it's a nice chill show and very funny. But yeah, love this show. And I'm trying to remember what, yeah, okay. So yeah, this one easily goes in the love category because it's great. I think I might actually, I think I have to put this one above Dr. Stone. Yeah. Which sounds kind of weird because normally I'm not like hugely into comedy shows, but this one just suits my comedy needs because yeah, it's kind of twisted, but you don't really notice how twisted it is until you think about it. It just basically it's just she's causing mischief for all the demons, and it's just very funny. So yeah, we're gonna put it still below Psycho-Pass, but above Dr. Stone. There we go, like that. Okay, Snow White with the red hair. This is another gorgeous show. The art is very pretty, and it does very small detail, but it does a very cool thing with the, I don't know what you call it, like the like sunbeam like shiny points. I don't know how to explain it, but so it's like normally when those are like shown, they're just like hexagons or circles, but they do little snowflakes, so it almost looks like it's like sparkling or something. It's like a very small detail, but I think it has a huge impact. It just makes the show look that much more beautiful. It also has one of the like healthiest romantic relationships I've seen in like any form of entertainment ever. So not just anime, but like anything. They're just like, yeah, just like a really wholesome, healthy, uplifting relationship where they're both like equals. They're both working towards their own goals and supporting each other towards that. And it's just like, yeah, it's gorgeous. Yeah, I highly recommend everyone watches it because yeah, it is a really beautiful love story and a really beautiful example of how to have like a healthy, supportive relationship like that. Yeah, it's a nice, also just like soft, comfy, chill, like fantasy story. So basically, he's the prince or second prince of the kingdom, and then she's how do I explain it? She's like I guess ambitious, but not in like a negative sense. A girl who's, well, like self-reliant, I guess you could say. Independent. She's a very strong, independent young woman who's like making her career out of like being an herbalist and making like medicine and helping people and like becoming better at her craft. And so, yeah, it's just a really beautiful story. Highly recommend it. Yeah, this was this show was in my top 5 anime for a very long time. It's now down to my top 6. It's my 6th favorite anime. And is basically the only heterosexual couple that is still in my top like 10 practically. Yeah. It's the last holdout for like a non-boy love show, essentially. So yeah. Beautiful, beautiful anime. Yeah, beautiful story, beautiful art. Again, one of the like healthiest relationships I've seen in like any media ever. So yeah, go watch that show. It's amazing. Okay, now we have Space Dandy. I think I watched the first episode and I couldn't do it. So this is in the unfinished anime because at least when I watched it, I need to try this show again. But when I watched it, this show was just, it was too crazy for me. It was too out there. It was too chaotic. I just couldn't handle it. But I need to try it again. Partially because I'm pretty sure Ian Sinclair is the main character. And like his like crazy wacky characters are like some of my favorite of his characters. So I bet I might like this show now if I tried it again. Because I first tried it like years and years ago when I was still new to the madness that can be anime. But yeah, at the time, I couldn't handle it. I never finished it. But I'm gonna put it above Food Wars. Yeah, just because I have a feeling that I might really enjoy it now if I tried it. So I'm gonna put it slightly above Food Wars. And then yeah, move that way down there, because yeah. And then there we go. Something like that. Because yeah, at very least I like the idea of like crazy chaotic Ian character. So I bet I would like that now if I tried it, but yeah, when I tried it the first time, I couldn't handle it. Steins Gate. This is an amazing show. If you like time travel and again like suspense thrillers, watch this show. There are lots of feels. It gets very emotional, but in like a really like good and powerful way. It's a very, very well done show. Kind of sciencey. And yeah, one of the best time travel shows I've watched, because it does handle it in a like almost scientific way. And yeah, the art's really cool. Art style's cool. Characters are really interesting. And yeah, there are lots of funs, twists and turns. And yeah, I highly recommend it. Very good show. Fun fact, so there's an episode where Okabe, the main character, gets like really emotional and like it's like an emotional breakdown essentially. And one of the reasons it sounds so like that, like the voice acting in that part sounds like so believable and incredible, is because the voice actor was like literally having an emotional breakdown in the booth. It was so emotional, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so the main character is voiced by J. Michael Tatum, and he does a brilliant job with that character. So yeah, I love the show. Highly recommend it. Ooh, and now where does it go? My list. It's right up there with Psycho-Pass and Black Butler. I'm gonna say it's essentially tied with Psycho-Pass. They're both brilliant shows, like slightly different reasons. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna put it like behind Psychopaths in the list, but they're essentially tied. Now I'll move everything down. There we go. But yeah, so if you like thrillers, psychological thrillers, Psychopaths and Steins Gate are absolutely amazing. Okay, and now we're on to the Konodan collection, or this boy collection, whatever way you want to say it, because so it's four OVAs and then an audio drama that are all this boy something. And yeah, so this collection just has these two in the audio drama. But this collection is my all-time favorite anime ever. Mostly just because of this boy's professional wizard. I absolutely adore that story. And the art style for all of these is very, very unique. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like very artistic and just like bright colors and just like really interesting art style. I've never seen anything quite like it. And most of them anyways. I don't remember the audio drama. I've only listened to the audio drama like once, but the shows, like little stories, often they deal with some like really like real and kind of like deep like human experiences, human struggles. So things like grief and social anxiety and not feeling good enough. So they deal with some like really like deep relatable things, but they do it in like a really, I don't know, kind of gentle and like honest way, and it's just really cool and like really like uplifting and inspiring, and I love it so much. So it's like these two in particular, these two stories I really relate to, and I love them so much. So like this boy's professional wizard kind of deals with the idea of like not feeling good enough, feeling like everyone's disappointed with you, and like you always have to like work harder than everyone else, otherwise everyone will like leave you. And so yeah, that's Cosma? No. I'm spacing on his name. Anyways, that's basically him. And then basically this like free spirit guy comes and teaches him that he has worth and that he can like love himself and he is loved, and it's just really cool. And then this boy suffers from crystallization. It's really interesting because the younger boy is the one who suffers from crystallization. So it's like they basically portray like social anxiety through like this sickness where he like turns into a crystal if he gets like too stressed out, which I think is a really cool way of like visualizing a really real like emotional mental experience. And so through the little show you kind of see him working through it, and I think it's really cool. And then this boy called a merman deals with like grief and loneliness. And yeah, that one's really cool. And then there's also this boy fights aliens. I didn't really understand that one, if I'm honest. That was the first one. I think they got better as time went on. But yeah, I highly, highly recommend these little OVAs. They're amazing and beautiful. And I think they deserve more recognition than they get, because like they are kind of, I think they're still kind of obscure, but they're absolutely beautiful. So yeah, these are right at the top of my top 7, because yeah, I adore them. I think everyone should watch them because they're amazing. There we go. Now you know my all-time favorite anime. Okay. Next one. Tokyo Ghoul. Tokyo Ghoul. Now, I'll be honest, I've only watched this once. I watched it ages ago. But I really enjoyed the show. It was fun. And yeah, it's pretty popular. I need to watch it again. I completely forgot about it until someone mentioned it yesterday. I'm like, oh yeah, that is a really great show. Kind of, you know, fantasy supernatural-esque with the ghouls, and an interesting story. Lots of coffee. But yeah, oh, and the, like, I guess sequel spin-off series. I will admit I've only watched that one once, partially because, well, I guess spoiler alert, they killed off one of my favorite characters, and I was mad, so I never rewatched it. I should at some point, though. I need to rewatch Tokyo Ghoul, so yeah, partially just out of the fact that it's been so long since I watched this, but then as soon as it came up, I'm like, oh yeah, I love this show. It's going into the good category. I'm not sure where though, because it has been so long since I watched it. So I'm putting it at the end, partially just because I haven't watched it recently enough to like accurately rate it beyond that. So yeah, so it's going at the end of good, but probably it probably actually goes up here somewhere. It's just been too long since I watched it, so I can't remember. Okay, this is a kind of fun little show, or fun story for this show. It came out relatively recently. From the description, I thought it sounded like a really fun, interesting anime. Because the description was something to the effect of, like, whatever her name is will, like, let whatever his name is go on a date, but only if they're married first. So it was very interesting. I was intrigued. The art looked kind of nice. I watched the first episode. Like, okay, this is kind of cool, kind of interesting. And then I think I got partway through the second episode. And no matter how hard I try, I couldn't finish it. The main guy was just driving me insane with this whole, like, freaking out about, like, being near a girl. That just drives me crazy if it goes on too long, and it went on too long. It's like, it's fine for a short time, but if it goes on for an extended time, it just starts to get on my nerves. Like, that happened with one episode of My Dress Up Darling. Like, there was one episode that I just, like, I hate, because it's like the whole episode is just him freaking out about there being a girl in front of him. And it's like, I get it, but you don't really need to, like, make me sit through this. It's like, yes, this happens, but can we move on? So, yeah, I never finished the show, because the guy freaking out about girls existing in front of him just drove me insane. So I stopped. I kind of, like, I'm still tempted to watch it because I kind of want to know what the story is. Like, what, like, yeah. So it's like some elements of the story were intriguing, but the guy was just driving me insane with all his freaking out. So I haven't finished it. So it's going down, not quite at the bottom of the list, because I'm more likely to watch it than Pretty Cure. But yeah, fun story of I tried and the guy was freaking out too much, so I stopped. Call of the Night. I don't actually know that anime, but if it has vampires in it, I definitely need to look it up, because I love vampires. Let me Just put that on my list and I'll look into it later. Oh, that makes me think of what's it called? Case Dia Vanitas? Something like that. That was another vampire show that came out recently. Good show. I enjoyed it. But that's not on this list. Maybe a future list. Oh, we do have another vampire show. Vampire Knight. So this is actually the first anime. Well, I say this is the first anime I watch. I'm excluding Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, which I watched as a kid, but I don't count those because, like, I didn't know that they were anime. I thought they were just, you know, normal cartoons. So this is the first anime I watched after I knew what anime was. Basically, my brothers have been trying to get me to watch anime for months, and I just kept saying no. But then I was in the mood for vampires, and the art style looked cool, so I watched it. And yeah, this is also a slightly older anime. Oh, I guess it has the date. 2008. So, not like super old, but older show. And I did enjoy the show. It had a kind of interesting story, very cool character designs, lots of vampires, kind of convoluted story, because basically Kaname was like kind of like a reincarnation of like the first vampire, sort of. The vampire lore got kind of complicated, but in an interesting way, but also, yeah, a kind of convoluted, confusing way. But yeah, so I really enjoy this show. It's very nice, it's very pretty, lots of cool characters. The only problem, well, and the lore and like world building's kind of interesting. The only problem is the main girl. The main character is kind of obnoxious. So it's has similar problems to Diabolic Lovers. In that the main girl's just kind of this soft, weak, damsel in distress. Damsel. I can English. This soft, weak damsel in distress who just kind of is like, I mean, whiny is not quite the right word, but kind of like whiny, oh no, I can't do anything type of character. Which, yeah, and also she has like, you know, like three lines that she just kind of says over and over again. She's slightly better. I will say she's slightly better than the girl in Diabolic Lovers. Her character's a little bit more developed. She's a little more self-sufficient. But she is also still really, really obnoxious. So, again, mostly for that reasoning, and because the story is a little, almost too convoluted at times. Like, the flow is a little awkward. And a little weird, but mostly because the main girl's obnoxious, and some of the other characters do feel a little like flat and underdeveloped at times. And the dub, I will say the dub of this show's not great. Like it's not horrid, but it was definitely an early years anime dub, and if they did it nowadays, I'm sure it would sound much better. But yeah, so for those reasons, main girl, dub being some of the characters feeling a little flat. It is going at the front of the category. Like, I still love it. I still enjoy watching it every now and then, but yeah, it has its problems. We'll just say that. And once again, I'm going to be lazy and not move everything down, so we'll just put it there. But yeah, so I still like it. It still holds a special place in my heart as like my first anime. Okay, not like that. There. But yeah, it's not exactly great. I did read the manga for that show. And the manga and anime are pretty close to the same. I actually own the last volume of the manga. Apparently something in the last volume I really enjoyed. I don't remember though. Have I seen an anime called Serial Experiments Lane? No. I don't think I've ever even heard of that show. But no, I haven't watched it. I don't even know if I heard of it. Okay. Almost done. We only have two more shows on this list. And next up is The Way of the House Husband. This is a very fun show. It's over on Netflix. And yeah, it just, well, first off, it has an interesting animation in that it's like only semi-animated, if that makes sense. It's kind of like almost, I don't know, a very different animation art style. Well, more animation style. But yeah, the art's really cool. Very interesting story of this, like, basically this big, tough, scary Yakuza who gets married and becomes a house husband. And that's basically the show. It just shows daily life of him doing house husband things and, you know, these crazy interactions that happen when, like, past Yakuza people come and try to, like, cause problems for him, and then he just, like, house husbands them to death. Well, not to death, but he wins by he out house husbands them. And just really funny. Very fun, chill, silly little show. Highly recommended. The main character is voiced by Jonah Scott in the English dub, and he's a brilliant voice actor. But yeah, all around, very fun show. This one, it's kind of hard to place. This one's kind of right on the line between the love and good category. So I'm gonna put it right at the front of the good category. But it is like lettered right on the line between the good and love because it is such a great show. And yeah, just, yeah, really fun and a wacky, very fun show. Okay, last but not least, Yuri on Ice. This is a beautiful, beautiful show. Again, technically a sports anime, but it's not super sports anime-esque. But yeah, it has a really beautiful story. Yeah, animation is beautiful. The co-creators were really passionate about the show and about figure skating, so it's like the figure skating elements are all like really accurate and really well done. Music is absolutely gorgeous. Art's gorgeous. Voice acting in the dub is gorgeous. And yeah, I love the story. I relate to Yuri so much. So it's just like, I found a really like encouraging, uplifting story of basically this guy who's like really good. Like, he's a really good figure skater, but like he doesn't have any self-confidence. He doesn't think he's that good. He has a hard time kind of like accepting compliments or like being told that he is really good. And then yeah, Victor comes along and essentially helps him find his confidence. And it's just, yeah, it's just a really beautiful story. The second I'm about to sneeze. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful story. Again, it's not technically boy love, but I mean, they essentially have wedding rings by the end of the show. So I count it as a boy love show, even though it's not. But yeah, this show, I'll be honest, so it's still number 2 in my anime list. Admittedly, it is up there partially just because of like sentimental value are keeping it really high, because it did help me like grow and improve and gain self-worth in a time when I was kind of struggling with that in like a way. Okay, struggling might be a little too strong of a word, but it did help me find my own self-confidence, which was cool, and helped me, yeah, kind of learn more about myself and about love and relationships. I kind of say it was also like the start of my journey of like exploring the LGBT community and coming out as queer as myself. So it has a soft spot in my heart, lots of sentimental value, but it is also just a gorgeous show with like a really positive messages, and also just really fun show. And yeah, beautiful show. Everyone should watch it. And yeah, so it's my second favorite anime. Goes right up there in spot number 2. There we go. And with that is all 42 shows. And I could have made the list look a little nicer, but I might clean it up and then make it look a little nicer. But yeah, there we go. 42 anime listed. So now you have an idea of my taste in anime. But yeah, lots of good shows. I love them. Love them all. And yeah, I kind of have like color schemes going unintentionally. Like the good category, like it's lots of yellows and whites, and then the love category is lots of dark colors, which I just find very amusing. And yeah, if you hadn't picked up on the fact that I like boy love shows, my top 7 probably, highlights that. If you saw my top 10, it would show it even more. And then, there's Snow White with the red hair. The one, like, heterosexual couple in my top 10. But yeah, so there we go. We did it. We got through the anime tier list. I hope you all enjoyed it. I certainly had fun doing this. It was a fun little thing. I'll probably do some more in the future. I at very least want to do a boy love tier list, because there's actually quite a few boy love shows, and yeah, I want to rank them. Let people know what the best boy love shows are out there, and which ones to we'll say handle carefully, because there are some that I wouldn't necessarily recommend. But yeah, I had fun. I hope you had fun. Took 2 hours. 2 hours and 10 minutes. So now I need to decide what I'm gonna do. So I was gonna do some like Minecraft and chatting after this, but we have been streaming for 2 hours already. Yeah, I'm glad people enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. I should have. Well, no. But yeah, now though the only problem is I now want to like rewatch all these shows. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It was fun. And I think. Okay. I think I'm actually going to end it here. Been streaming for 2 hours, which is a decent length for a stream. And I have a secret project that I want to work on. So let me switch screens real quick. But yeah, I guess I can sort of say a surprise. I'm gonna have a new model pretty soon. Model 2.0 is coming soon. Possibly next week. There's a few more things I need to finalize with it before it's ready for action. So I think I'm gonna end now so I can work on that. Because then if I do get it finished, I could debut it next week, which I am super excited about. Yeah, new model. It's gonna be amazing. I'm super excited. It's almost done. And this one I'll also be able to like get different outfits for. Because like the model I have now is great. I love it, but the way it was made means you can't really customize it or switch things out very well. Whereas the new one, I will be able to like make or buy custom outfits. So yeah, I am super excited for that. So yeah, so I'm gonna end stream now so I could go work on that and hopefully get the last few things finished on it so that I can debut it next week. Wednesday maybe, we'll see. I'll put the schedule out on socials and stuff tomorrow. And then you'll know if I'm debuting my model and if so when. But yeah, so thank you everyone for stopping by, spending some time here and viewing me as I nerd out about anime. So yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I hope you were inspired to watch some new anime. Or rewatch some old anime for that matter. But yeah, so I will be back Monday morning, 7 a.m. Most likely doing co-working of some sort. Schedule will be out on Sunday. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And I will see you next time. Bye bye!